Hello and welcome back to our third Tai Chi Thursday series brought to you by AARP in Houston, Texas. My name is Lee Fu, Director of Four Dragons Tai Chi, and every Thursday at 10:30, we will continue with our Tai Chi practice here on the AARP Texas Facebook page. This third series will continue now until November 19th and will focus on breathing and meditative techniques called Qigong to improve our Tai Chi practice. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back. Today we are going to be focusing on a Qigong practice called Baduan Jin, the 8 pieces of brocade, 8 different exercises to help us build up our Qi. So let's go ahead and find our space. This can be practiced seated or standing. I'm going to practice standing, but feel free to sit down if you need to. You can also modify any movements that you need to work within your range of motion. What's important in Tai Chi and Qigong is that you do not feel pain or push through pain, that you work with the pain and find new and better ways to move and to work with your body. So finding your feet on the ground, whether you're seated or standing, feel your feet spreading out. I like to think of your feet as the foot of an elephant, how they put their foot down and it spreads out in all directions. So spreading out from the center of your feet into the 4 corners of your feet. And then bend your knees if you're standing. Reach your tailbone down. Let your navel rest back towards your spine. Lift up through the crown of your head. Shoulders over hips. And let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale, press down. Slowing down the breath, letting the breath become longer. More effortless. And let's do some gentle stretches. Taking one hand, pressing the palm down, the other pressing up, twisting open. And coming back to center. Rotate the palms out. And back to center. Expanding and contracting. One more time on each side. Feeling a nice gentle twist. And now bring your palms to face the floor. Shift your weight. If you're standing, step forward. And then we're going to turn. If you're just seated, your hands will glide forward and back as you twist, looking over your shoulder. And then inhale, shift your weight back. Step out to the side and then step forward into your bow stance. And you feel a full spinal twist. Moving with your breath, inhale. Shifting weight, switching sides, exhale, twisting. Soft elbows, soft knees. And coming back to center, inhale, arms up. And let's move into our Badwan Jin. Starting with two hands, holding up the sky. Inhale, palms up. And exhale. Let the tongue rest on the palate behind the teeth. Feel chi rising. Feel chi sinking down. And if you're standing, bring your heel out to widen your stance, toes facing forward, drawing back the bow, hands out in front, inhale across the chest, and exhale, tailbone reaching down, navel back towards the spine, exhaling across the chest. Bring your hands together out in front and raise your stance, arms down by your side. Separating heaven and earth, walk your feet in, hip width distance apart. A deeper twist. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, spiraling your arms around to reach for the opposite hip and shoulder. Hips stay forward. Inhale, come to center, and exhale. Inhale up, and exhale. Coming back to center, rolling right into crane, sweeping down. Let the little toe, side of the foot rest on the floor in an empty stance, opening up the inside of your ankle on your empty leg. Crossing wrist overhead, exhale, hinge from the hips, sweeping down. Sweeping the lower leg, inhale, coming up. And alternating to the other side, exhale down. And coming back up to center. Crossing arms overhead. Exhale, bring your arms down. Take your heel out, toes forward, wider stance for swaying the head, wagging the tail. Decompress your spine by reaching out through the base of the tailbone and out through the center of the crown. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, reach your heart towards your knee. Sway your head across with a flat back. Inhale, come up. Back to center, and exhale down on the other side. Opening up the physical body as well as the energetic channels. So opening up the back, the spine, and the channels that run along the spine. Coming back up to center. Walk your feet in. Heels under hips. Inhale, grasping the fist, eyes gazing softly. Make a strong fist. Exhale, pull it down, creating tension in that arm. And release the tension completely. Inhale, other arm. Exhale, pull down. And release. Inhale, bringing two hands up to dive down through the center. Bring your hands on each side of the navel and down the inside of the legs, over the feet, and then tap back of the legs all the way up. Inhale. Diving down. And exhale, let your hands float down. All right, and last one. Bouncing on the toes, tapping the heels. We're going to lift up off our heels. And then we're going to make sure the knees are bent, and we're going to drop the heels 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more time. Inhale, lift up, and drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's the 8 pieces of brocade. Hopefully you feel enlivened, awakened, and relaxed, ready for our Tai Chi. All right, so let's begin our Tai Chi practice. going over our first two sections like we did last week, and hopefully moving into the third and fourth section that we've also been practicing as well. So starting from the beginning, we'll go slow the first time. Starting with your heels about 2 fists apart and the toes turned out at the 45-degree angle. We're going to do the whole form, meaning we're going to do the upper body and the lower body. If you are following us seated, you can just do the arm work and follow along with that. And so now let's begin. Palms facing the outer thighs. We lift up through the wrists. Inhale. As if you're holding a ball in between your hands. Exhale. Bend the knees. Shift the weight. Hands in front of the heels. Hips, hands in front of the hips. And step forward. Bow stance. And step out to the side. Open, close. Shift your weight. Step forward. Push forward. Single whip. Transition. Cloud hands. Finish your cloud hands. And back to open, close. You can raise your stance here to relax your legs, relax your kneecaps, and recharge your chi. As you exhale, sink back down, single whip. Transition. Cloud hands. Finish your cloud hands. And open, close. Raise your stance. And exhale. From here, we would go into brush knee. All right, and that's how we move into the second half of the form. But let's continue to review the first half. Let's do it again one more time, and then we'll start to review the second half, and then we'll put it all together, hopefully, if we have enough time for that today. So let's begin again. Getting into our starting position, remembering our alignment, our upright posture, bringing energy from the center, from the navel, from the heart center, and moving them up and out towards the base of the pelvis and towards the crown of the head. And when you think about splitting your energy into those two opposites, you feel lifted and elongated and supported. And now let's begin taking a nice deep breath in to lift the hands. Breathing into the arms and exhale, sinking into the legs. Shift your weight, stepping forward with your right foot. Excuse me, your left foot. And out to the side for open close into your horse stance. Shift left, step right, single whip. Transition. Cloud hands. Weight even between your feet. Open, close. If you don't need a break, stay in your lowered stance, keeping your mind steady, shifting the weight. Single whip, step forward with the left, gaze to the right, transition, cloud hands. And coming back to center. Open, close. And now let's flow into our brush knee. Shift your weight. Lift the sole of your foot, keeping your heel down on your left leg, and then turn in for your hook step. Extend out to the side and post, preparing to turn to the right. Step out with the heel, brush knee. As your weight is transferring into the bow stance, the hand comes in towards the shoulder. As you follow step, push forward. Remember that follow step. The heel is down, but also lifted, able to lift up off the ground very easily. From here, we go into play the lute, step back. Palms face each other, and we slide across the forearms into an empty stance, back weighted. Peri peri punch, turn out. Shift the weight. Turn out. Shift the weight. Step forward. Block and punch. Empty stance. Or excuse me, follow step. Your trailing leg is empty. To step back for push the mountain. Roll back. Step forward, empty, follow step. It is an empty stance with the back leg trailing, pushing forward. And then we rotate on the heel to turn forward and open, close. Our heels should be under the hips. Our feet should be slightly apart. And we shift the weight. Lift the sole of foot, hook in Brush knee to the other side. Post. Step. Brush knee. Follow step. Push forward. Step back, play the lute. Sink into your cat-like stance here. And peri peri punch, turn out. Shift the weight. Turn out. Shift the weight. Step forward. Punch. Follow step. Roll back. Step back. Empty stance. Step forward, pushing the mountain. Follow step. And either step or rotate on the heel. Coming back to face forward and open and close. And relax. All right, so that is a lot. That is basically the entire form. So if that was a lot for you, don't worry. We're going to take our time and keep practicing now through November. So you'll have time to get better and better. The more you practice, the more you follow along with these videos on the YouTube channel, the better you'll get. All right, so let's try that again from the beginning, the entire form. And just allow it to flow. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Continue to breathe with the movements. And allow the chi to flow. And let's begin. Softening on the inside. Shift the weight. Circle up. Step forward. Bow stance. Horse stance. Open, close. Preparing for single whip. Pushing with your whole body, pushing with the legs, pushing with the hands, with the arms. Gazing to the left. Transition. Cloud hands. Monitor your steps, making sure that you're not taking too wide of a step for yourself. It should feel comfortable. You should feel like you have a strong sense of balance and foundation. And also possibly working with the space that you have. The smaller the space, the smaller the steps. Open, close. If your legs need a break, you can pop up. Let your legs relax and then sink back down. Transition, single whip. Upright posture. Keeping that alignment with your Tai Chi pole, that vertical axis within the body. Cloud hands, we just rotate on that axis. Open, close. If your legs need a break, just rise up. Relax the knees and then exhale, sink back down. Shifting the weight, hook step, extending out, spear fingers, brush knee, follow step, push. Right hand, palm facing the ground by your hip, elbow reaching back just slightly to create a little bit of torque around that vertical axis. And step back, empty stance, play the lute. Peri peri punch, step, turn out, step forward, follow step, punch. Roll back, empty stance, push the mountain. Turn to the front, open, close. Again, if you need a rest, you can raise your stance. On the exhale, sink back down, shift your weight, hook step, brush knee to the other side. Follow step, back leg is empty so that you can step back for play the lute. How do you know which leg you're going to step on? It's the leg that's empty of weight. Peri peri punch. Rotate your foot, rotate your hands. Gliding through the movements. Follow step. Push the mountain. Roll back like a wave. Step forward to push. And turn to the front. And lower your hands down, raise your stance, and relax. Open and close your hands. We still have a few more minutes. We're going to start cooling down. Roll your shoulders and relax. Relax any tension you may have been holding unknowingly. And if you can, take one heel up towards your hips, opening up the knee joint completely and stretching the quads. And take a fist and just lightly tap the center of your quad, or maybe there's a part of your leg that's a little achy or tired or sore. Go up and down the leg. This will also help to release tension in those thick muscles. All right, so cooling down with a little bit of self-massage. Let's start by swinging the arms. Trying not to twist in the knees too much, tapping around the waist and lower back. And now let the front hand tap the front of the shoulder, loosening up the shoulder. The back hand will come up a little bit higher to the bottom of the rib cage, hinging from the elbow to tap the kidneys, tap the lung area. And then let the top hand come up a little bit higher, tapping the neck, top of the shoulder, where we get a lot of tension. And it's important that we release this tension here. Blockages due to tense muscles does not allow for the chi to flow. It doesn't allow for energy to flow through the nervous system. It can cause headaches, dizziness. So we want to clear that blockage. All right, and slowly unwind. Tap your hands together, palms facing down, thumbs pointing down. This is for the lungs. And then turning palms up, tapping hands together. This is for the heart. And tap your wrists together. Other side. Tap the muscle at the forearm just below the elbow joint. Other side. Take your hands to each side of the nostril and rub that space. And relax. Let's grab a seat and finish with the rest of our practice. But before we sit down, just get in front of your chair and take your hands and tap what we call the corners of the hips. Sort of the center of the outside of the hip. This is a point that tends to get very stagnant and tight, especially when we start stepping out to the side for cloud hands. But it's good to strengthen the outer hips. And go down a little bit further. And then halfway down the legs. And then if you can, just come down into your seat and below the knees on the outside of the leg. Take your hands together, rub your hands together, get them nice and warm. Bring one hand to each side of the knee. And kind of rub up and down. Back of the knee. Other side. Rub your knee. And so we've been having a lot of rain here in Houston, and that can lead to excess dampness, which can aggravate inflammation in the body. So we bring a little extra heat, maybe some spicy food or some warming foods like ginger, cinnamon, and that can help to release some of that dampness by bringing a little bit of fire to it, a little bit of heat. And that's what we're doing here with the warming of the hands, bringing some heat to the knees, helping to disperse some of that dampness. All right, and let's do a 5-minute meditation. Sitting up nice and tall, remembering your upright posture, remembering that central channel within the body, the crown of the head lifting up, base of the pelvis sinking down. And just focus on your breath. Letting your breath slow down. Let it be smooth as silk. Just observing your breath and observing any sensations in the body. Allowing your body to adjust internally as it releases tension in every breath and in every moment. Just continues to release and to release and to allow relaxation to overcome the body. As we relax, the energy begins to flow freely. The energy begins to accumulate in the body. You can allow it to store in the lower dantian, the center of the pelvis. The more energy we have, the better we feel. The better our attitude. The more we get to express and experience our ideal self. Feeling centered, feeling grounded, feeling alert. Observing the opposites of stillness and movement. When we move the body and we give the body what it needs, it will gladly sit still and allow us to rest the mind in meditation. So feel free to continue meditating as we close out our practice. Inhaling the arms up, hands together, feet together. Interlacing at the thumbs for our Tai Chi salute. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I hope that you are progressing well with this form. Please let me know. You can leave a comment down below and let me know if there's anything we need to work on specifically, and we can address it in the next video. And until then, stay safe. Wishing you peace on your path. Dao An.
Hi, I'm Rosalinda Martinez with AARP Texas. We hope you enjoyed today's Tai Chi virtual class with Li Fu, Director of Four Dragons Institute Tai Chi for Health and Longevity in Houston. We decided to extend the series after several of you from around Texas and beyond reached out to us asking for more. Tune in next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. for another lesson. The 12-week extended Tai Chi Thursday series runs through November 19. You will find prior classes on aarp.org/Texas. You will also find voting information and deadlines on our site. Information like the last day to register to vote in Texas is October 5th. The last day to request a mail-in ballot is October 23. Early in-person voting is from October 13th through October 30, and Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. We encourage you to make a plan so you can vote safely in the manner you choose. You can find a mail-in ballot application at www.votexas.gov. Thank you for joining us, and see you next week.